Nebraska and Iowa, a rivalry that has been very lopsided since Nebraska has joined the Big Ten. While Nebraska holds the most wins between the two teams in total contests, in recent years, Nebraska's only won one game in the last 11 contests. So today's video, I am going to be answering the question, what would it take for Nebraska to beat Iowa? Because yes, we're obviously in the off season, and this could be seen as like a prediction video, sure. But I wanted to answer this now, so going forward into this next football season, we can see, oh, does Nebraska have the necessary capabilities to have a good chance or a fighting chance to beat Iowa? Now, they always seem to have a fighting chance, but let's just be realistic. Nebraska's not had every single one of the keys that I believe are very fundamental for Nebraska. So, without any further ado, let's get straight into it. So, first we're going to start by backtracking and just look at all the scores, all the scores of the last 11 meetings since 2014, and just look at the scores and analyze them. So, you got 40-16 lost last. Terrible defensive line, right? Keep that in mind. This game, turnovers, late game execution, late turnovers really costed Nebraska. Iowa literally only scored because of turnovers. I mean, yes, they have that one 72-yard rushing touchdown, but that's a good running back, so I'll give him credit. Eventually, he's gonna make a good play. 10-13 this year, same thing. Turnovers costed Nebraska. We beat him this year. We beat him with what? Explosive playmakers. Now keep that in mind. We had also, there's more than just that, but explosive playmakers were very, very important. In this game, lost to them. Late game collapse. We look at this. We had a very good chance to beat Iowa the entire game, and yeah, we literally just fell apart and lost. So, then this loss. Keep this one in mind. We lost. We actually had the lead early on. I mean, we were up 20 to 13 at one point in the third quarter. Then we let them get a touchdown, and then 2 field goals in the fourth to get the win. This game, 24-27. 28-31. All Scott Frost losses, and also all 4 of these ones here are Scott Frost losses. Like Riley's last year, 14-56. We'll get to why we lost there. And 10-40 loss. Tommy Armstrong was hurt in this game. We were ranked 16th and we gave up that game pretty badly on the road. And then lost them 28-28. I mean, Iowa was just a better team in that game, so that's the one exception because they were ranked number 4. We were unranked 5-6. Although we had the talent to beat them, just terrible coaching. So, why did Nebraska lose these games? So, when you look at this one, and Nebraska literally just terrible defense is what costed Nebraska. Look at that play right there. You can literally see Nebraska just did not have good defense. Iowa was not a good team. They were just able to get explosive plays because Nebraska was just not playing good defense. This game, we lost because our defensive line was terrible. That's all there is to it, okay? Our defensive line was, they were a 7-5 team. But what does Iowa do? Iowa has good trenches, a pretty solid running back, great defense, and good special teams. That's their motto. They don't have a good offense, usually. The offense averages about 10, 15 points a game. But what they will do, and this is why they dropped 56 on us, they will punish teams that have terrible defensive lines. That's why this score was the way it was. That's why this score was the way it was. Now, they also feed off turnovers. That's why this game, partially, and this game all came down to those losses like that. Because Nebraska just turned it over. Now, obviously, we were sometimes able to beat them, like in the Pelini era, and we were still, with turnovers galore, but we were a different team than when we were under Bo Pelini. So, my main keys, my 4 keys, what it would take for Nebraska to beat Iowa, they're very simple in my mind, and they will show what you need to have in order to beat Iowa. Because if a 4-8 and 3-6 Nebraska team can beat Iowa on the road, who is 7-4 in that game and 5-3 going in conference going into that game, I would think next year Matt Rhule heading into year 4 would be able to get a win over the Hawkeyes. Now, let's just look at the facts. So the first key is that you have to win in the trenches. Okay, that's the first key. If you haven't noticed, that is easily the first key. When Nebraska has terrible trenches, like in the 2025 defensive line, or the 2016, or particularly 2017 defensive line, Iowa will punish you. All you have to do is do play action because you have to stack the box to stop the run until they do a play action, then just do a pass. And even then, I mean, the running backs would get good enough to just get nice explosive plays because our defensive line was terrible. That's the truth. Apparently, I was reading some article. The strength and conditioning coach that Mike Riley had wasn't having his defensive linemen or really any of his players do squats as like a leg workout, which is absolutely insane. I mean, no wonder why they were so bad. I mean, that's why we would give up crazy yardage to like Arkansas State or within Illinois when they upset us, which is a terrible loss. So that's the truth there. So you need to have good trenches and also offensive line. I mean, that's kind of why we lost to Iowa in this game. Strip sack by Raiola. I mean, obviously we had there are mistakes all over, but I mean the major ones that I really remember in this game were because just bad offensive line. I mean they were able to sack Raiola multiple times, and that's just like having a good trenches is how you win Big Ten games. That's the truth. Okay, so then number 2, explosive playmakers. And while I say explosive playmakers, that also means you have to execute on offense. Now, did Nebraska lose this game because they didn't have explosive playmakers? Oh, no. I mean, they scored the most points they did in Iowa since 2022. I mean, they had 16 points. So, I mean, like, you look at this, like, how many yards rushing did Emmett Johnson have? Where was it? Right here. 217 rushing yards. That's like the best anyone's ever done against Iowa in rushing. Like I think he had a 70-yard rush, or 70-yard carry, and that's like the most. He's the first player running back get a 70-yard run against Iowa in years. So that goes to show we had explosive playmakers. I mean, we had Emmett Johnson. He was great. Yeah, that would have been enough. We had good defense. I mean, 16 points in Iowa. That's a good team. And obviously we're banged up. We're on a second-string quarterback, so we probably would have had maybe 20 with Raiola. But that's just the truth. I don't think we lost that game because of explosive playmakers. We lost the game because our defensive line was playing twister. Now, you also have to execute on offense because you can have explosive playmakers and not execute on offense. But when we beat Iowa, yes, we controlled the trenches against Iowa in this matchup when we won. But we also had this guy right here, Trey Palmer, and he was a beast. And Casey Thompson did good that game too. I mean, he didn't ever turn it over. So, yeah. 278 passing yards, 20 for 30, 3 touchdowns. That's not bad. And they were on their second-string quarterback because Spencer Petras got injured. And also, Iowa did have their starting cornerback that would have guarded Palmer. He was injured, so that they did have some bad luck. But still, Nebraska was able to take advantage, and that's why they won. Now, number 3, good special teams. Now, good special teams, while special teams are like the least played position or like just team in football, they are yet so important. A bad kick could be the difference between a punt return or a fielded punt like at the 5-yard line, whatever. Like good special teams have been a very, very bad issue for Nebraska historically in the last few years. Now, last year, did we lose this game because of bad special teams? No, we did not. But did we lose this game partially because of bad special teams? Obviously, the turnovers, which we'll get to. Yes, we did. This game, we both missed kicks in these 2 games right here. And that's partially why Nebraska could not get it. I mean, there are other games, too, that we missed kicks against Iowa. I can't remember which ones, but those 2 particularly are ones where you noticed, special teams are terrible. And, I mean, that also, we would have bad plays against Iowa. So, it's not like the first, bad special teams plays. So, it's not the first time this would happen. In 2023. It's happened many, 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 many times. So, Nebraska needs to have good special teams. Any team needs to have good special teams, but Nebraska really needs to. But they also really need to be able to have, they need to be able to, have these keys in the same year, obviously. They need to be able to do that, because if they can't, stop the run, they're going to lose like this. If they can't have good special teams or execute on offense with good playmakers and not turn over the ball, they'll lose like that and that. And if they don't have good, they have not a great defense, they have a decent offense, but not good late game execution on offense, they're going to lose like that, or that, or that, or this game particularly, which really sucked to lose. So yeah, that's the third key. My fourth and final key is that Nebraska has to be able to win the turnover battle and also complete the game. They need to be able to win the turnover battle and not turn it over, because Iowa, their only way of really winning a game is just beating teams that beat themselves. That also includes penalties. Now, they're also not like inept. They will obviously be able to score without turnovers, but I'm just saying they particularly thrive off turnovers of other teams and penalties. And they're a very disciplined team. I mean, Kirk Ferentz runs a very, very tight ship. And so that's why Nebraska's lost to Iowa many, 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 many times. So if they can find a way to do all four of those keys, but particularly also just like not lose the mental battle. I know that's not a key, but like if they could like not just collapse, because like when they got so what happened in this game, partially why we lost. Look at this, we had a 94% chance to win this game because we were up 21-9, and like we had held we had done a very good job of just stopping Iowa. I mean, you have to admit, like Nebraska was up 21-9. They get a punt blocked and they return it for a touchdown. The minute that happens, everyone knew what was going to happen, and sure enough, they scored 19 unanswered points in the fourth quarter alone. So Nebraska loses, and literally Iowa, I mean, they were 10-2 that year. We only lost to them by 7 points. So just saying, Nebraska completely should have beaten Iowa. They just faltered. You look at me, like look at this real quick. This goes to show like the mental game is so important. We were up 7-0, and we start off the first quarter 7-0. We get a field goal, and then we get a touchdown, and they get another field goal, and we get another touchdown, and then they get another field goal. Sure, 21-9. We're up at 12. They're fine. Yeah, touchdown on return, right? And then they get a safety because he did intentional grounding in the end zone. And got a field goal, and then they get a touchdown. That's how they win. Literally, that's all they did. Like, I think when it was tied, they just knew what was going to happen. So, like, the mental game is super important. Even in this game, that's important, because when they came back, Nebraska collapsed. Actually, in these two matchups, though, Nebraska actually came back. They just couldn't stop the last field goal, like in that game and in that game, as you can see. So, that, my friends, is the end of this video. So, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'm sure there's going to be some Iowa fans who are going to say, you guys are never going to beat us, blah, 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 blah. And you know what? Iowa, like, let's not forget the good old days when we used to thump Iowa. Like, I miss those days a lot, to be honest. I never was around, but I looked at all those old contests when Nebraska was good. And boy, I wish we could repeat some of that history. But anyway, that is a topic for a different time. I will see you guys later, and until next time, goodbye.